What's going on, Barber World? This is your girl Sheeta Barber, and today we're gonna do another no guideline fade. Right now I'm using my JRL Onyx and a 1 guard closed going with the grain as I even him out all the way around, taking my time, going over each area multiple times just to make sure it's leveled and smooth and all the same length. Next, I'm going to put on my 1.5 guard and I'm going with the grain. And note to everyone, the wall guards actually fit the JRLs, and I do have a 1.5 wall guard on here that I'm using because I don't believe these came with a 1.5, or I may have overlooked it, I don't know, but the wall fits perfectly. So I'm going against the grain, flicking out, using my corners, and as I move down in the blend, I'm going to be closing my notch a little at a time. So I'm just taking my time, making sure I get every hair to smooth this out so that my detailing can be as easy as possible. And don't forget to always use your corners. In the back, sometimes I tend to use the full blade because depending on the head shape of my client, the full blade actually lays against the head. Once I get to that curve, I begin to use my corners. And we're just going to do the same thing on each side and in the back, starting with the lever open. And then as I work my way down again, like I said, I'm going to be closing the lever 1 notch at a time until I'm all the way closed. Y'all see how I hold my hand? They actually make clippers with an attachment on the side where you can rest your finger on it. But when I tried it, it didn't feel right. It feels better to use my finger or hold my clipper like this without that attachment. But anyways, I just switched over to the 1 guard. And I'm going to be doing the same thing. I start with my clipper all the way open, right up under their 1.5 close. And then I begin flicking out, using my corners, smoothing this down, and as I move down, I close my lever 1 notch at a time until I'm completely closed. Now when doing this fade, it's best to use reference points. And what I mean by reference points is I may want to use my 1.5 at the very top of the vertical bar and work my way all the way down to the bottom of the vertical bar, and then I may want to put my 1 guard on at the bottom of the vertical bar or at the temple area. So use reference points when you're doing this method, and the haircut should turn out good. And this method can be used on fades, tapers, mohawks, any type of haircut. You just have to use your reference point so you can always know where you are within your blend, and you'll always know what guard to switch back to when it's time to detail. So as you can see, it's darker on the right side of the head than it is in the back, so you can actually see that blend starting to come together. And I just put my 1.5 back on to smooth that out some more. And now we're back to the 1 guard, and we're moving around to the other side of the head. So since I've already pretty much discussed what I'm doing here, I just wanted to talk about some of the barbers that I've actually watched on YouTube. I will say that the very first barber I watched was 360 Jeezy. His tutorials were very easy to follow for me, and it helped me a lot with starting out with my haircuts. So I want to give a shout out to 360 Jeezy for that, because I can't say he helped me start my barber career. Then I began to watch Chris Bossio. Love Chris Bossio. I started to watch Get Bean. My classmates put me on Get Bean. Pretty cool. The dude sound like he rapping to the music when he really not. Got some really nice cuts. I like the way he apply his enhancements. I learned how to use the pencil when I was watching Get Beam. Pretty cool content that he uploads and that he posts. My favorite barber of all, I will say, is Game Changer. A lot of people say he talk too much, but the dude be dropping gems. He's dropping knowledge, and I love it. But right here, I put on my 0.5, and I started with it open. Once again, same method. Open right under that one guard closed, and I am blending it into that one guard closed, and I'm gonna work my way down, closing down my level one notch at a time. But back to it, yeah, I love Game Chamber, dude. His content is great. I love his content. I love his haircuts. I like how smooth they come out. I love how natural his haircuts are. Don't get me wrong, I use enhancements, but I only use them as they're requested. I don't offer enhancements and ask anybody if they want enhancements, because I like to do a natural haircut. And if I can make a natural haircut look enhanced, I love that better than using enhancements. But I have nothing against enhancements. I just don't like painting. I want to be a haircut artist, not a painting artist. And shout out to those that, use the enhancements as they should be used, and you still have the skills as a barber to push out great haircuts. But yeah, I love Game Changer content. Haircuts is just smooth. I learned a lot from Game Changer, and I'm gonna continue watching that dude. I want to give a shout out to my mentor, Andy Mason. Very humble guy. This is who I work for in Memphis, Tennessee. Y'all gotta see this dude do some haircuts. The man is cold. He's great. We went to the barber with hair show, Bronner Brothers, this year, August 2024 in New Orleans. We had a great time. I met Concise the barber and his wife. Really great people, humble people, God-fearing people. I love that about them. I had a great time in New Orleans. But back to the video. Now we're on the other side of the head, and we still have on that that 0.5 guard. And we're just blending into that one closed. And as I work my way down, closing the level one notch at a time. And that is Andy right there. Man, be sharp every time he come to work. People can't even believe he cut hair like that, but he a professional. We all professionals. And man, this is my cousin, who I'm chopping up right now, chewing that gum as hard as he can. Now I have no guard on, all the way open, and I'm working it down until he's completely balded. And as I move down, remember, we're going to close the level one notch at a time as I work my way down. Now this fade is more of a drop fade than a low fade. And as I said, this method can be used on any haircut. You just got to take your time, believe in yourself, know that you can do it, and use your reference points, and you can really, you can't go wrong. I love doing this method because it keeps me from fighting with guidelines, because I don't ever create a guideline. So I actually encourage anybody to try this method, and I'm still working on it. As far as like my timing, it's coming along really nice. I can't complain. And I know with more work, my timing is gonna come, timing and muscle memory. And I'm pretty satisfied with how these haircuts have been turning out lately. There's no guideline method. It's pretty cool. Next, I want to try the no guard method, but one method at a time, one at a time. So as you can see, I'm slicing. And when you slice, you can slice with your no guard, within the area where you use the 1.5, as long as you have the clipper turned to the side, because the cutting blade isn't flat on the head. And just the same, you can put on your 0.5 guard and you can slice in the area where you use your 1 guard. Slicing actually helps you stop from moving from guard to guard. It cuts down on time and it helps out a whole lot. And right now I'm just detailing. I'm going back over my work. This is the cut. I hope y'all enjoy it.